Today's Bible story is Jesus calls the first disciples. Jesus not only told stories about what God's kingdom is like, but he wanted others to be able to pass on the message. So Jesus chose men and women to help him. Those who followed Jesus were called disciples. What's that, Francis John? You've just set up a Twitter account and written your first tweet, and you hope to get lots of followers. That sounds exciting. How do people find you? They just need to search for Teddy Francis John. That sounds nice and easy. Well, our story today is all about some of the first followers that Jesus had. Are you ready for our story? Jesus calls the first disciples.
One day, Jesus was standing on the shore of Lake Galilee. People were crowding round him to hear him tell them about God and what God's kingdom is like. Jesus saw two boats pulled up on the beach. The fishermen had left them and were washing their nets. Jesus got into one of the boats. It belonged to Peter. Jesus asked Peter to push off a little way from the shore. Jesus knew that the water would make the sound louder, so people could hear him better as he sat in the boat and taught the crowd. When he finished speaking, he said to Peter, "Take the boat out further and then let down your nets to catch some fish." "Master," Peter answered, "my brother Andrew and I worked hard all night long and caught nothing. But if you say so, we will let down the nets." Peter and Andrew let down the nets and caught such a large number of fish that the nets were about to break. They asked James and John in the other boat to come and help them. They came and filled both boats so full of fish that the boats were about to sink. They were all amazed at the large number of fish that they had caught. When Peter saw what had happened, he fell on his knees before Jesus and said, "Go away from me, Lord, I've done lots of wrong things." Jesus said to Peter, "Don't be afraid. From now on you'll be catching people instead of fish." Peter and Andrew, James and John pulled the boats up on the beach, left everything, and followed Jesus.
We heard in our story how Jesus called the fishermen, Peter and Andrew, James and John, to follow him. Instead of catching fish, Jesus was going to teach them how to catch people, how to tell people about God's kingdom and what God is like, so that they would want to follow Jesus too. I wonder, is there someone that you follow? Why do you follow them? You may like to close your eyes and think about that now. I'm going to say a prayer, and if you want to make it your prayer too, then please say amen at the end after me. Dear God, help me to think about who I follow and what they teach me. Thank you that just like Peter, Andrew, James and John, I too can follow Jesus and be a disciple. Amen. What's that, Francis John? You're going to see if you've got any followers and also write a tweet telling people about the Bible story today. Well, thank you for joining us for our story, Jesus Calls the First Disciples. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye and God bless.